Hey, what's going on, my friends? It's Dave Sharpe. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. And you guessed it, we did it. No, my friends, you did it again. We have yet another amazing guest. This is a true leadership factory around here. The way that we have so many amazing marketers coming out of the soil, being grown right organically, right up, rising, from the nutrition, the sun, the water that they get here, which is just very simply good information from the right people in the right environment. And today's guest is no different. She is a real estate broker. She's from Oklahoma. Um, she seems like a pretty normal person from the very few words that I had with her backstage, but she's certainly doing some extraordinary work. Please welcome to the show, my friends, and give a warm, legendary marketer welcome to. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
You're so welcome. So did I get all of that right? You're from Oklahoma. You're a real
Yep,
estate broker. I
that's
believe
all
your
right.
husband in luxury home building. You're a
Yep,
mom as well of how many children?
just one
Just one.
very active 4-year-old.
Oh goodness, I understand that very well. So with all of that going on, and with what seems like a certainly an honorable career choice. Um, I would like to think that there's enough opportunity to make money there and live a good life,
Yeah.
as well as a two-income household. What still led you to Legendary? Tell us what you were looking for, and do you feel like if you were looking for something specific, do you feel like you found it?
Well, what led me here is probably having a child and wanting to be home more. Real estate is a 7-day a week, 365-day a year job, and it's text messages at 10 o'clock and at 6 in the morning, and it can be extremely stressful, especially when you do it at a high level. And being a mom, really, I had a huge mental shift with that. And my daughter was born with a heart defect, and so that was really challenging. And I just didn't have the ability to mentally focus on other people's homes or want to focus on other people's homes. I wanted to focus more on my home. So I was looking for something. I had no idea what it was.
Hmm.
And my husband sent me a video from one of the wonderful women who is on Legendary or with Legendary. But I just kind of watched her and I thought, oh, what do I have to lose? I'll just sign up and see how it goes. And I was shocked. Like, I was not looking for Legendary. Legendary kind of found me, a la
Hmm.
the Instagram algorithm, but it was exactly what I need, and now I love it. I love being on social media, which is wild because I would have never, ever, never said that before. So,
Wow. So shout out to Hubs. What's his name?
Randy,
Randy with the assist.
Randy with the assist. True
Wow.
story. Yeah.
Wow. Good for him. So,
Yeah.
okay. So let's dive right into that. What has that been like to, a lot of people come in here and they are hiding from their spouses. They're afraid to talk to their spouses. They're You've gone here, and from what I could tell, you have gone full out investing. You went through the challenge, got the blueprint, so you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
only, but you're spending money or investing in your skill sets. What's the dialogue been between you and Randy, and how do you think that you won over his support for you doing something like this even before you started doing it?
Sure. So he knew that I was looking for something different. And to be fair, I will always have a brokerage license. My husband's a home builder. He has zero interest in me retiring him or anything like that. He loves what he does. But he knew I wanted something else. So that was immediate support in that respect. He doesn't fully understand what I do. He's like, I don't really get this, which is fine. But he's just a supportive guy. He has a high school diploma and that's it. And he's built a massive building business over the last 30 years. And it's incredible what he's done. And so he respects that entrepreneurial spirit to go out and try something new.
Hmm. Good for you. Good for him. Well, shout out. I can definitely relate to being non-university, the only guy in the room without a college degree.
I did
Um,
it. It's a waste of money.
well, there you go.
Mhm.
That's certainly a hot topic on this show as well. So, talk to us about what it was like for you to go through this education. And initially the 15-day challenge, get into our blueprints as well. You had to have thought at first, being the professional that you are, is this even legit?
Sure. I I had an inkling that it was legit even once I started the challenge early on in the first couple of days. Because who in the what scammer is gonna go through that much effort to create an entire platform and videos? I also had, background knowledge of affiliate marketing. I mean, I follow influencers, so I bought some jeans, you know what I mean? So I knew what it was. I just had never, put my focus on it and put my mind to me doing it. So I never like dug into what it was.
Mm,
Um, and pretty quickly, I realized that not only was it a very real career, but it was something that was completely doable for anyone. If I can figure out how to do it, I mean, I'm a 41-year-old woman. Like, I didn't grow up with cell phones. We didn't have social media in college. That was not a thing. So if I can do it, literally anybody can do it because I suck at social media. Let's
Lynn,
just be very clear about that.
we're old now. We're old now. I
It's
mean,
really tragic.
I'm the same age, and I'm sitting here listening to you talk like my parents or grandparents talked. I just had that realization. We're old now. We didn't grow up with cell phones. We didn't grow up with the internet, and
No,
we here we are. We're sort of like, as we navigate this internet marketing journey, we're kind of like, in a way, we're like, um,
like a
you
baby deer.
know,
Like, what
are- we're
what are you
like
talking about?
we're like senior citizens walking through the woods,
Totally.
like,
Absolutely, 100%.
moving the, oh, it's getting dark. It's like,
Yep,
oh dear,
exactly.
how do I sync up my calendars here? Little Johnny,
Yes.
come here and help me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's good. So you aren't tech savvy. You didn't see yourself going and being on social media. What has that been like for you to go from mostly probably a telephone and in-person real estate
Yeah.
career, and husband
Mhm.
being a home builder, that's very in person, to
Very.
videos? I mean, has there been a mental transition? Has there been limiting beliefs inside of your mindset
Oh,
that you had to overcome? What have some of those been?
for sure. So here's the great thing about my background is that I knew I was gonna start out and suck, and I knew I was gonna have major, challenges to feeling like I was good, and I certainly I have a perfectionist problem, and so I certainly fell into that trap early on of like, "Oh, no, I need to fix this minute thing on a video that literally no one would see except me." And so that I had limiting beliefs around that. And then you just kind of get over it. And now I'll just make a video on the fly, whether I have makeup on or whatever. Like that's what a filter's for. I just don't care. And honestly, it's more rewarding to make a video that you don't think is going to do anything except you're just putting a video out and it does really well. And you can kind of analyze, like, okay, well, I didn't think that video was going to do squat. And it actually, I got a legendary sign up from that or whatever it is, or someone in my email campaign. So it's interesting to kind of analyze the ones that I try to perfect are the ones that don't do very well because it's not, people want to see you in real time. They want to see you as a real human being. And sometimes those videos, when you're so hyper focused on making it perfect, they don't land at all.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and put Lynn's social media profile up. We'll do it on our side here. I'm just happen to be on my phone here because I don't have any Wi-Fi for the past 3 days here at my home, and so I am living the true
Oh, you
digital.
are living like a true 41-year-old.
Oh my God, you would. I got extension cords going up. I'm like running. I'm on my phone hotspot watching a game on my iPad. Extension cord ran. I mean, and
Yep,
there's no mute. I mean, I'm just like I'm out here in the wild.
you
It's
are.
I
Yeah,
am
it's
off.
dark ages at your house.
Oh my God, it's like Neanderthal times around here. So I've got my phone propped up here, and I have no control, but I'm just here. We even did a dadgum 3-hour webinar yesterday, and for our digital courses blueprint, we're updating that, my friends. If
Right.
anybody was on that, let us know in the comments. Um, if you're loving that as much as I was loving that, but I did the entire thing at least co-hosted on my cell phone, okay, with no Wi-Fi, just on my. So I mean, I'm I'm constantly amazed by what I'm able to do in this phenomenon of internet entrepreneurship. What benefits are you seeing? What are you loving about this? How has this changed your life so far?
Well, it's given me so much more time. It's given me so much more time freedom to focus on my family, to focus on my home, to focus on things that I haven't been able to get done because I've been so focused on my real estate business. And it's allowed me to step back and say, yes, I'll help this person. No, I won't help this person, and really focus on um, my time more than anything. It's like a time freedom, and that is very relieving.
Is that your ultimate goal with this? I mean, it's not like you came into this poor and struggling,
That's
like
true.
totally.
I did not.
You're
Right.
working on time management. You're working on transitioning your work from something that can oftentimes be a time vampire to
Mhm.
doing less of that. And who knows, maybe ultimately none of it. I don't know. It's your story. You tell it. But moving into this this digital lifestyle where you're
Mhm.
working from home and doing, whether you're doing this full time or you even figure out how to do real estate stuff from home, your goal is ultimately time freedom and to remove yourself from the brick buildings and
Yeah.
going being away from your daughter. Am I right about
Yep.
that?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, I will always sell real estate to some capacity with my husband's business, but if I could just do that
Mm,
only, it
okay.
would be fine, you
Okay.
know?
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And then do this, and also, how, just before we get into like what you're doing right now and kind of how you're making your entry into this
Mhm.
business, how do you already see these skills being useful for real estate agents? And could you just help us to understand how these are transferable skills and how you've already been using them or how you have not been using them over the years?
Mhm. You know, it's funny. I have actually had a lot of real estate moms follow me, and I some of my signups with Legendary have been realtors, which is really interesting. I think number 1, realtors are really open to other opportunities because of the style of business that it is, so I think that helps. But number 2, I actually said to a friend of mine who signed up for Legendary, bought the blueprints. He is a full-time realtor. His wife is currently going through the blueprints right now. And I said, I wish I had this when I was doing real estate full time and that was my only focus, because the impact I could have had on social media alone with my business would have been unbelievable. Truly. I mean, the information that you could use for any business, it's not even real estate, but it literally teaches you how to utilize the internet so you are monetizing what you're doing on your cell phone. Like if you're going to scroll the internet, why aren't you making money on it, and why aren't you 10xing your business with it? It's a
Mm,
no-brainer, and I wish that this course could literally be taught in a real estate brokerage at large because it would be
mm.
so useful for realtors.
Wow, that says a lot about just these skills. And we didn't invent these skills. I mean, we didn't invent these strategies.
Mhm.
um, these are just the skills and strategies that have that have given me a career, a real life, a life beyond my wildest dreams. And we've sort of realized, and I've realized over the past 13 years, I've really only made money doing 4 business models, and they fit perfectly together. They're the core 4, and that's
Mhm.
course coaching, events, and doing affiliate marketing, the 4 ways to sell information online. You're starting with some affiliate marketing. Can you see in the future, if you wanted to do a course on real estate, you having the ability to be able to do that, to train if you wanted to
Yeah,
now know how to reach them, train them, and monetize your knowledge without ever leaving your house?
100% I could. Yeah, and it's definitely crossed my mind. I kind of, in the notes app on your phone, every now and then something will pop in my mind and I'll just take a little note down because if I ever want to do that, I can just pull from random thoughts I've had over the last few months and be like, okay, this is applicable here. And yeah, 100%. You
Yeah,
could go with the core 4. I mean, you could really build any business you wanted to.
yeah,
It's applicable to everything. And, I have since I've been a realtor for 16 plus years at this point, I have been through more training and more coaching than you can possibly imagine. I mean, it is unbelievable. So, what you're saying, like, you didn't invent any of that stuff, but you figured out ways to make it, number one, understandable and applicable to not just affiliate marketing, but digital marketing and even brick and mortar at large.
yeah. I mean, I leave every restaurant always asking, why didn't they collect my email? Why didn't me a
Such a good
free
that is such a good point.
Like, why didn't they give me a free gift, a free dinner for my email? I mean, one,
That's a great question.
they could have just said, here's a in exchange, if you sign up for our newsletter, we'll give you so in our newsletter, we're sending you more free awesome ways to save money and letting you know what new items are popping up on our menu, how we can cater your parties, how you can have parties here at our restaurant. And for
Mhm.
signing up for our newsletter, for all of that amazing information, we're also going to leave you're going to leave here with a coupon for a free dinner next time that you come.
Smart.
I mean, it blows my mind, but instead the owner is off somewhere else, and you don't even have to be in the restaurant to be like doing this. You could just have your staff doing it. You could tip them, or excuse me, bonus them for the most amount of emails collected throughout the week. So you
So smart.
incentivize. This is coming up off the top of my head right now, but it's
Mhm.
not that I've talked about restaurants for years, but it's like every time we leave a business, I leave a business, I get like, I'm just shocked. I'm not angry. I'm not frustrated at this point. I'm just like, man, you guys make it so hard to give you money. And that's one of the primary ways that you get rich is you deliver value, like I just said. Hey,
Mhm.
you even have to frame signing up on the newsletter as value. On the
Mhm.
newsletter, here's what's different about this newsletter than other newsletters you've probably been
Mhm.
on, spam you and sell your information. This is a private, exclusive newsletter only for our customers here at Lynn's Diner, and
Mhm.
we are on this newsletter. Are going to give you information each month, each week about how we can serve you in so many different ways. And for signing up today, is all you got to do is write your email right on this piece of paper. You're gonna leave with a free gift certificate for $20, for $25, for a free meal,
Mhm.
anything on the menu. You get anything on the menu next time you come in, free
Yep.
for just.
And
It's
people
just
love free. People will
it's.
take the crappiest nothing for free because it's
Oh,
free.
I, I know. I mean, think about all these marketing agencies that sell.
Mhm.
They're giving away a free cruise, and it's like that's the biggest. That's you're signing up to on a list for a telemarketing company, but that's the idea, is that you sign up for the free cruise, you put your email and your phone number and all your information into the little box, right? And they're gonna pick a winner. They don't pick a winner. They call every name.
100%. My structural engineer gives a fly swatter with his branding on it and makes you take a picture with him every time he comes and he puts it on social media. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
What does a fly swatter cost him? 25 cents?
Yeah, it's marketing is something that's obvious, but if we aren't shown how to do it, often we don't figure it out on our own, because it's just one of those phenomenons to where without the training, without the environment where you're pushed to
Mhm.
see the picture like we do here at Legendary, where we talk about, show the benefits of doing it, people can be hesitant. They don't want to make people
Yeah.
uncomfortable. You're taught to be polite. You're taught to not ask people for things. So
Right.
how have you transitioned to doing these videos? What has it been like for you from your first video to now, and how have you gotten better? And what wisdom could you give us about hanging in there with
Mhm.
video marketing and not quitting before, as I like to say, before the miracle happens? And what miracles
Yes.
have happened in your business? I mean, just talk to us about your journey through going from probably a meek marketer, as I was describing, to now probably more direct, more assertive, right? More
Mhm.
confident.
Yeah. Initially, it was a lot of emulation of like the bigger gals that are doing it at a really high level. That's just, I think, natural for people. And kind of not knowing what to say and being very unsure. Now it's so much more off the cuff, like so much more. For example, I had a troll comment yesterday just said Ponzi scheme, which made me laugh because they don't know what a Ponzi scheme is, obviously. So I immediately responded to it in video to and used that to explain what affiliate marketing was, how widespread it was, why companies use it, what it does for companies, why it's a win-win for both the corporation and the affiliate marketer. And I used it as an education tool. And I was able to do that in my car off the cuff yesterday
Mm,
because I've been doing these videos and because I've been consistent with them. I
yeah.
mean, and you have to give yourself grace. Some of your videos are going to suck. Who cares? There's always another video. It doesn't really matter. And people would be shocked what videos actually resonate with people. Don't worry so much about what you think and if your video is perfect. You have to think about your target market and what's going to reach them. Who are you talking to? I mean, just have a conversation like you're talking to your friend or your sister or your brother or your dad. Like, just have that conversation and let your personality show through. Do you know how much dancing I've done on videos? I am an awful dancer, like tragic. Sober, drunk, it's bad. Like, it's just bad. And I don't care because it is funny. It's an action video and it gets people to respond and it gets my market to engage. You just have to have fun with yourself. I mean, I learned years and years ago from an ex boyfriend. He used to say, if you can laugh at it, you can live with it. And I thought that was the most brilliant quote. So I kept the quote, I got rid of the boyfriend. And it's just always stuck with me. And it's so helpful in marketing because if you can't laugh at yourself, if you can't have fun with it, no one else is going to engage and have fun with you either. You can
Mm.
come on and be a robot, but it's just going to flop. Just be yourself.
Wow, we don't need to know his name because Randy's all we need to know. But man,
That's true.
that, that was brilliant. Yeah, we had to make room for Randy because he's
That's
clearly
right.
the
100%.
rock star. He's the man.
Uh-huh.
Other men, but Randy is the man.
That's
Uh,
right.
So, wow, though, what wisdom. It's amazing where we can pick up little nuggets that can help us along the way. If you can learn to laugh at it, you can learn to live with it. And isn't this process of like marketing, which it's we're building a business here, but isn't really it a process of learning to live with your own voice, your own face, your own
Mhm,
body, your own
mhm.
ability to be able to dance, the fact that your voice cracks on video, the fact that you have this desire to want to compare yourself to other people,
Oh,
the fact
yeah.
you are a perfectionist, like the fact that you don't feel comfortable in your skin, the fact that you think your voice is weird and awkward on video and your face is ugly or whatever, too skinny, too fat, too this, too that. Um, so we learn to laugh at ourselves. We learn to use, in a way, self-deprecating humor to
Yeah,
make fun of
exactly.
ourselves. We
Mhm.
learn to get a little looser and do a little dance. I mean, this is a process of getting more comfortable in our skin, and therefore exuding more confidence, and
Mhm.
therefore attracting people to what we're doing because they naturally want to follow people who are confident in what they're talking about. And Lynn,
Right.
this isn't just true here, isn't that true even in real estate? Isn't that
It's
even
true
true?
in life.
Yeah.
I mean, life is no fun if you're rigid and, frozen. You got to have fun with your life. And sometimes life needs some self deprecating humor. You can use it in any capacity. If you're a mom, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
And the confidence piece. I mean, if
Yeah.
a realtor walks in, or one home builder walks into a customer's house, is unsure of himself
No,
versus
and then it won't, yeah, it won't ever come across. It's, and I know what that's like. I know what it's like to be like, okay, so here are the comps and, scared to death. And, I used to memorize scripts and do all the things that they teach you in sales and all of that. And now I don't do any of that because it's not genuine. I
mm,
just go in and own it. And to be fair, I've been doing this a very long time, but, and real estate has a massive learning curve to it. So, but even still, if I was teaching anyone brand new, no matter what they were doing, like throw away the script and just pretend like you're talking to someone you've known for 35 years. Like,
yeah,
how do you want to be spoken to? Speak to them like that.
yeah.
Like, don't worry about things that literally no one's going to notice. Because the things that we like get mental about and freak out about, no one notices except you. It's all in your mind. You just got to let it go. And I say that to myself just as much as the people on this call. Like, I'm victim to that all the time.
Yeah. So how did you, coming in with this real estate, you know, how many ever decades of that experience and knowledge of being a mom, and not, all this wonderful knowledge that you came to this point to where you needed to pick a niche, you needed to decide what audience you were going to target.
Mhm.
Obviously so many people in our community are coming in brand new, and
Sure.
they see other people out, promoting our courses and other things inside of the affiliate marketing and make money online
Mhm.
niche.
Mhm.
And there's an element of, okay, I see other people doing that. I guess that will be my first step into this. And
Mhm.
sometimes they stick with it because they love it, and they say, hey, I'm absolutely in love with marketing, and I'm in love with financial literacy, and I want to just continue because and other times they say, well, that was my first step into this business, and now I'm going to pivot to real estate, or pivot to talking
Mhm.
about something else. We're yesterday on yesterday's workshop, and of course on Decade in a Day, which is
Mhm.
available to every single Blueprint student. We talk about a new niche every workshop, and we try
Mhm.
to expand people's minds about how these business models work in so many different niches. How did you decide what you were going to do first or forever, and
Right.
forward with that without being, in your head and mulling over it and not being able to make a decision about your niche and what you were going to promote here at the beginning?
Mhm. I think for me, I thought about what people talk to me about. And, I'm in my business in front of people and in their homes constantly, and on the phone with them and in text messaging. And more often than not, I hear women like, well, I want to stay home, or my child's in dick. I heard that. I've heard that over and over and over again forever. And so I thought about that when I was choosing my niche and thought, okay, well, who do I want to help? Do I want to go on and be, focus on, I don't know, Amazon and do home decor and all of that stuff, which I have a ton of knowledge in because of my background, which would be very lucrative. But am I going to get bored with that? Like, do I want to hawk stuff, or do I want to sell knowledge, or like, promote knowledge? And for me, it was the knowledge piece. because stuff goes away, but your knowledge in your brain is forever. And so, what would it look like if I helped women gain the knowledge, or men gain the knowledge, so that they could make really sound decisions for their lives and for their families? And so, when I thought about all of that, I went, okay, well, I'm going to do the wealth niche, because that's what I want people to talk to me about. I want people to talk to me how I'm bettering my life, not about a top.
Mm,
Does that make sense?
perfect sense. I love that. I mean, I love, this is a hot topic right now. I
Mhm.
mean, it's, the wealth niche and getting regular, which we all are, people, financial, like helping them to become financially literate, like
Which
helping.
is so hard. No one
Yeah,
taught me how to be financially literate. I mean, I've done
yeah,
the dumbest stuff with money, like dumb, dumb stuff. And I wish that someone had, I don't know, offered a class in high school or college, like, here's how to manage money, here's how to invest money, here's what to do with money, here's what a 401k, whatever.
yeah,
Literally, no one teaches that stuff or talks about that stuff. And so you're on Instagram like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I mean, why is that where we get our knowledge from? But it is,
yeah,
and that's the beneficial stuff.
yeah,
'Cause you know, there people have varying views of money and negative views about it and limiting beliefs about money, and I totally understand that, but it's a requirement for life. So why wouldn't you do everything you can to learn about money and make it work for you, so you're not working for it? Because when it runs your life, it's like an idol and that's all you focus on is money. But if you're making money work for you, you are living a beautiful life because you're focusing on the things that matter. You're not chasing money.
yeah. Money, the lack of money puts us in a survival mode.
Oh, totally. And
I
I've
would
been there.
Yeah, I would almost go to say that the lack of money is the root of all evil.
Mhm. That's
Today's
true.
society, it's not money that's one of those seeds that was planted by whoever, whenever, and invented, likely to control people in some way, um, or
Sure.
misconstrued, probably misconstrued, right? Because man, we screw
Mhm.
everything up, use whatever we can our advantage.
True.
Um, is okay,
It's
that's
the
fine.
human condition.
It's the human condition, right? But in today's society, we have to really understand where we're at, and it's the because man has created a society that runs on dead presidents, green stuff, moolah, cashola.
Mhm.
The lack of money puts us into a survival mode that diminishes our spirit, that takes us
Yeah.
our families.
And not
It,
having money is brutal. I have been there. It's awful. It is the most stressful, terrible place to be in. It's horrible.
and it
Like,
puts us to a time, as you described, the pursuit of money. uh,
mhm.
and you could fit this into however you wanted. It's basically the same thing. The pursuit of money is the root of all evil. Fine, yeah. Pursuing it takes me away from all of the things that are important to me, right? It's like
Yeah.
away from being able to be with my kids. And so the simplest things, like I shared this at the recent mastermind, with both our clients and our team, just my money management, money approach, tax paying, and
Mhm.
investment strategy, which is very simple. I mean, one example is just how I pay my taxes. And as an entrepreneur, one of the things that can ruin our career as an entrepreneur is that first successful year, right? We
That
we
tax bill's a beast.
we we want to get,
Mhm.
might even have a year or two where we don't make that much money, but then we have a successful year, and we're keeping all the money, we're taking the money, we're spending the money, we're buying houses and cars,
Yep.
rich now, we finally are successful, and then at the end of the year we go file our taxes like you would as an employee, and you've always gotten a check back, you've gotten a tax return, and now all of a sudden you didn't pay any taxes throughout the entire year because your job usually takes them out for you, which is fine, no problem. It's just there's two ways to pay taxes. You're either a W-2 or you're a 1099.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same way as being a 1099. You're responsible for your own taxes, and you got that tax bill at the end of the year. So I talked about paying taxes quarterly. I talked
Mm-hmm.
about figuring out what tax bracket you're in,
Yep.
which is very easy, simple Google search. And
Yep.
if you're $100,000 this year, you're on track to make 100,000. You can Google what your tax bracket is, and I have a separate bank account that's
So do
called.
I.
And
Yeah.
every month when I get my P&L, which is a profit and loss sheet, which is
Mm-hmm.
basically how much money did I make minus my expenses,
Yep.
I've got net profit right there. That's what I pay taxes on. And
Yep.
that's the benefit of being incorporated, having an LLC, is that you get to write off your expenses, which, yes, the
Mm-hmm.
cost associated to your business, but that also lowers the amount that you have to pay taxes on.
That's right.
So if I have $25,000 worth of expenses on my $100,000 income, now I'm at
That's right.
75,000 net profit,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm actually not in the $100,000 tax bracket. I'm in
Right.
the $5,000 tax bracket, which may be less. And so I take that amount of money and I set it aside each month into a separate bank account, which does
Yes.
things. It not only assures me that I'm setting money aside, it also acts as a savings account for me, because
Mhm.
very often I want to save more in that account than I may owe. And there may be money left over at the end of the year, because I'm also going to be paying my taxes quarterly. I'm going to do what's
Mhm.
called an estimate. So
Yep.
I my account and I figure that out. Okay, I want to pay in an estimate. So I pay
Mhm.
quarterly, and then at the end of the year, not only have I been paying in all throughout the year, I've also got that money set aside in a separate bank account that
Mhm.
acts as both money there to pay my taxes, but also, if there's money left over, a savings account. Now I'm also investing. I'm investing in certain things:
Yep.
gold, silver, index funds.
Yeah.
Uh, not Ponzi schemes in the latest newest Bitcoin Ponzi scheme,
Yeah.
or newest cryptocurrency that just launched the other day that I'm hoping is going to have an 8,000% return, and I'm going to be refreshing
Yeah.
my every
Yeah.
time, right? Not like, see, we're already doing something high risk with our
Mhm. Mhm.
a high risk bit. This is your high risk investment. So
Yes, it is.
money that you make, you want to put into something super safe,
Mhm.
something that
Like real estate.
like real estate, or like treasury bills, T
Yeah.
bills, 5% right now, or
Mhm.
index funds that, like VOO, that was the one that
Yep.
I, the mastermind, Vanguard, S&P 500, SPY is another index fund that you can buy right in any brokerage account, and it's just investing into the S&P 500, which over
Yeah.
the last 100 years has grown 10% a year on average, and it's about as smart as an investment. As a matter of fact, the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett himself, says when he dies, he's just going to put everything that's not donated to charity for his wife into a single index fund. And so that right there, the last 5 minutes of me talking is more financial literacy
Yeah.
than learn in 4 to 6 years of college. I
Yeah.
heard of
No.
anything in taxes, anything about index funds, anything,
Never.
anything
Nothing.
in high school. And so you're right. We are getting our information from Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah.
People are already going there. So it's the perfect opportunity for us to hop on and become a part of the knowledge movement
Yeah.
in monetizing people's desire to seek out information.
You can I mean, here's the thing. I think it's important to have a variety of videos if you're going to do this. You can't just go on and make only side hustle videos, because you're not educating your market, and you're not showing them why they need to trust you and understand you and sign up with you, because you have to provide education, whether that's about an index fund, or it's about affiliate marketing, or it's about parenting, whatever it is. You still have to provide a level of education to whomever you're speaking to. Because if you only do one type of video, it's going to get gimmicky. and you're going to lose people because they're going to seek out that person that is the expert in their field. If you were to go hire a realtor, you're not going to come in, you're not going to hire the guy that comes in with all these gimmicks. You're going to hire the proven person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a great opportunity for us to, get on, and as we're learning, be sharing. You
Mhm.
know, this is really, many of you who think that you need to be experts and know it all before you can start marketing in whatever niche you have chosen. You just need to, I mean, when I got clean and I started working in recovery in 12 steps, somebody said to me, Dave, are you sponsoring anybody? Which in recovery sense, sponsoring is like finding somebody who's newer than you, and they either ask you or you offer to help
Right.
them with steps and sort of mentor them. And I said,
Yes.
no, I don't have enough time yet. I'm not, I haven't been around long enough. And I was told, man, if you are one step ahead of somebody else, you can help them. You can
Yes.
sponsor them, you can help them, and you should be, because this was what I was told. Listen to this. You can't keep what you have unless you give it away, which
Ah,
like rocked my world, because I was like, it was almost like if you don't use it, you lose it, right? I
yeah,
can't
that's true.
I can't keep what I have unless I give it away. And so for those of us who are passionate and excited about whatever niche you're wanting to work in right now, as you make your first step into online entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
you're probably excited about that topic. You want to talk about that topic, and you're probably telling yourself, I don't have enough yet knowledge to start. You
Everyone does that.
you can't keep what you already have unless you begin to give it away. And if you don't start to use, and by use, I mean speak, talk, share,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
use it. You have knowledge here in your head. We all seek knowledge to use it. It,
Yes.
it it's useless if we
Yes.
keep it in our head. It's absolutely useless. It's useless
Yeah.
if we keep it in our head, because usually if it's just in our head, we're not even using it, because we're communicative species. We talk things through, and
Yeah.
usually at least
Yeah.
talk about what we're doing, and
Yeah.
usually we'll talk about doing something before we do it. So social media marketing and the marketing strategies we teach here at Legendary give you an opportunity to be able to use what you have, even if it's only one step in front of somebody else.
Sure. Yeah.
Go and
You can't, I mean,
monetize.
the sooner you start teaching, the quicker you will learn. Because the sooner you start talking about something and somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer to it, do you think you're going to go and look it up and figure out what that answer is? Yeah. So that you can answer their question, or so that you personally know. So the sooner you go on and start talking about it, even if you're talking about one thing over and over again to begin with, that's okay. You're going to learn.
Yeah.
That's it. And you have to do. You have to take action or you will never get there. Let it be imperfect, let it be messy, let it be cringy, whatever the kids say these days. But you just got to go on there and do it. Nothing will get you there faster. Nothing will get you to expertise. I've been in real estate for 16 plus years and I don't know everything. I have crazy crap happen all the time where I'm like, well, that's new. You'll never know everything ever. So you might as well just start.
I feel like the more cringe I get, the more successful I become. And I can't
100%.
I can't actually explain that. I mean, I was cool at one time back. I started this when I was like 25, and I was too cool for school, man. I
Mhm.
mean, I
I
would
know it's very 25.
be doing, I'm Dave Sharpe. I mean, I had the
Yeah.
hair was parted and perfectly, I mean, and it's like now the older I get, the I come on looking like a Neanderthal every day. I don't even remember the last time I shaved. I just have my barber just trim things, just
Mhm.
cut and trim, and it's probably patchy if you were up close and personal, but the video kind of keeps a distance between the details. I got my shirts. I wear the same friggin' shirt every day. It's unbelievable. I mean, you talk about a the opposite of a Dapper Dan over here. I mean, it's just it's like I'm throwing my hat. I mean, I'm acting like a madman. And it's just, these are the things that when I was younger, I would have never done. I would have looked and gone like, I can't ever do that. But it's like, the more comfortable you get in your skin, the
Yeah.
more just express yourself
Mhm.
naturally the way that you feel. This is how I feel. I mean, this is just,
Mhm.
I'm sitting at my desk on a cell phone. I mean, you would think that we'd have some production here, like an L studio or whatever. But I'll
Right.
be honest, I look at content that's recorded in some big studio, and I'm not interested in watching it for
No,
whatever
'cause
reason.
it's too perfect.
Yeah.
You wanna be able to relate to people. Does anybody relate to a Kardashian? No. They relate to me or Josie off the street because they're normal average people. There is literally nothing special about me. I just show up.
Yeah. And capitalize on the attention, capitalize on the fact
Sure.
that people are already there. And if you're
Mhm.
embarrassed about something about yourself, think about what they're doing. You may be on the internet talking smack and sharing value, but they're just sitting there scrolling. They're doing nothing, right? At
Right.
least you're in the field. At least you're the teacher, not the student. And this is a big, simple concept to understand, that the people on the internet who transition from learner and listener to teacher and talker, that's the deciding factor between who's making money and who's not.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yeah. And you always have to realize that you don't know it all. You can always learn more. I mean, how much knowledge do you learn a year? I bet it's a bunch. And people would think, "Well, he's it. He's at the top."
Oh,
No, you have to keep learning or it's over.
I learn every morning on this show. I mean,
Right.
at this point, I'm learning a lot about human nature. I'm
Mhm.
learning a lot about I'm learning a lot about connection. I'm
Mhm.
learning a lot about empathy. I'm learning a lot about how to communicate with people from all walks of life. I mean, we've had this big influx of, women and stay-at-home moms and
I know. I
female
love that.
to like really adjust and be very self-aware of myself, because now all of a sudden I find myself, it's not the typical bro marketing that
Mhm.
doing, where I mean, it's about being able for me to talk to anybody, to
Mhm.
connect with anybody, and to connect with women of all walks of life in professional ways, in
Mhm.
it's just it's a maturing, it's been a maturing season for me. It's been a learning season for me. It's not just about, this is not about the mechanics for me anymore. The mechanics of this business haven't changed in so many years, I can't even tell you. Like, I
Mhm.
know a lot of you are like overwhelmed by setting up your funnel and like your autoresponder, but once you get it, that's never, let's like really the basics. What is going to change for you is the what I call the dynamics,
Mhm.
part of the iceberg that you don't see. It's the learning how to relate to people, learning how to connect with people, learning how to come off as, to be real, to tell a story that is empathetic. When I went through the pandemic, I was well off. I was successful and well off before we launched Legendary.
Mhm.
And it was about, it was good that transitioned me from like marketing from the perspective of flashing money and like talking about income in physical things, and to a deeper conversation about what, about survival,
Mhm.
about, about being of be I had to find deeper empathy for people because they were not wanting to go back to COVID stricken hospitals. They
Yeah.
were not wanting to go back to COVID stricken classrooms. They
Mhm.
had been home with their children and they didn't want to go back just because they didn't want to leave their kids. I
Yeah.
mean, and you know what? The interesting thing is, I would have never learned everything that I learned about just communicating. This is not direct response marketing that I'm really doing on the show every day, which is what I've been doing for 10, 13 years, where it's like, you know, you're driving traffic to a page, you're asking for a direct response, you're
Mhm.
This is conversational
Yep.
marketing that we're doing here, which is what we're all doing now on social media.
Yep.
So, I mean, 830 episodes of doing this show just alone, let alone being
Wow.
the CEO of this company and leading our 200-person team and the experience I've gained from that. But just 830 episodes of this show have taught me a lot about conversational marketing, connection, empathy, and a whole slew of things. And I would have never learned that if I wasn't in the game already.
Right.
You got to be, you got to be, you got to be there. You got to, and I said this yesterday on the show that during the pandemic, we got lucky because our preparation met opportunity. That's what I think luck is.
Oh, yeah.
So our preparation of already being in the game, not launching something just because we thought it was the perfect time, because now everybody's at home. We had already launched and had a few
Mhm.
rough years leading up to the pandemic to where we were building the company and tweaking things and figuring
Sure.
things out. And then when the pandemic hit and everybody was stuck at home, that preparation met opportunity. So what does that mean for everybody listening? That means that you ain't going to be able to take advantage of any opportunities unless your butt gets in there and starts preparing right now,
Yeah.
unless you're in the game. And it's going to be uncomfortable and you're going to learn as you go. But your biggest wins are going to be from already being in the game and being ready for
Mhm.
that hit to come your way, instead of all of a sudden when it like looks like the perfect time, then you're going to jump in cold. It never works. It never works out like that.
Because you're starting from zero.
Yeah.
It is so I saw a video recently where it's and I don't remember who said it. He said that it is easier to get from 1 to 2 than it is to get from 0 to 1. Like, getting from 0 to 1 is the most challenging thing you will do in any single business, period. Eh, Working out's the same way. Getting from 0 to 1 in exercise is hard. Once you get to 1, everything you do after that will just compound. Like, growing a business is just time on task. Becoming an expert in something is just time on task. That's how you get great. You just show up every day and do it. Some days you'll learn more than others, some days you'll fail bigger than others, but so what? You just got to keep moving. Business is a living entity. It's not something you set up like I set up my funnel, I set up 12 emails. See ya. It doesn't work that way. Do you know how many emails I've written? I communicate with everybody in my email campaign at least every 2 days, at minimum. You have to keep going. Just because
Yeah.
they didn't respond today doesn't mean they won't respond tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that's the power of marketing is you get them on that list or you get them following you. And as almost every single person on this show says, yeah, I followed such and such for so many weeks or months. That's
Oh, yeah.
I just bought one of those Aura rings that you wear.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
Try it
You
out.
come this close to buying that.
Okay, we all right. So it at the end after I bought, it was like, how long have you known about Aura? I was like, 3 years. It was where did you first hear about it? I was like, I don't know it. It just made me think about the power of marketing of
Yeah.
they didn't launch that product and keep it a secret. They've been running commercials, they've been running ads on social media, they've sold enough of the product that people are then reselling them in like the Gucci ones, or they got some value, I guess. But
There's
even
a Gucci one? Wow.
yeah, I saw one in like a Facebook group where somebody was selling it, and I was like, shit. I was like, let me go look. And the Gucci one was like $1,400. And then I was like, are they all $1,400? So I went over on the website and bought a titanium one for 500, a brand new
Mhm,
titanium. I was like,
mhm.
okay, I'll take the titanium one, right?
Yeah.
I'm good with that. But it just got me thinking about, wow, I've heard about this, I've known about this, I've wanted to buy one before, and it's a sole pure effort of their marketing and of them not quitting and shutting down the business that I finally went and spent not five, not 50, $500
Yep.
on a little piece of titanium with some technology that honestly, who knows how much that cost. I mean, they probably got it dialed in to 10, $15, $500 on a random Monday night or whatever it
Yep.
was.
Do you know how much crap I bought in the middle of the night at like 3 a.m. when I had a newborn? I was like, yep. I mean, it's just, you can literally buy anything on this thing. I mean, it's just, why not utilize it to create a business?
And it's the power of not giving up before that miracle happens. The people are going to follow you. They're going to check you out. They're going to get on your list. Get them on that list. Expect not to convert people for a couple weeks or months.
Oh,
That,
no.
That's called filling your pipeline, which is an age.
Mhm.
You know about this more than anybody in real estate.
Mhm.
You keep that pipeline full. This is no
You gotta
different.
feed it.
You got to feed it, man. You got to keep fresh leads coming into that all
Mhm.
the time. And ones that have already been on your list or already been following you, they'll start to convert while other people are warming up, watching, listening,
Mhm.
taking action over time. Not hardly anybody sees something the first time and goes and buys. We all are creatures of very slow habits. It takes us a lot sometimes to make decisions.
I will give you an example that happened to me yesterday. So I have a personal page with, that's actually private with, my daughter and various things on it. And I started following this girl who was a marketer just because I liked her content and I thought it was really nice. And she messaged me and said, "Hey, I saw that you watched one of my stories." And she went and checked out my bio. And I do like essential oils just because I like them. And years ago, I was like, well, I'll just sign up to sell them because my girlfriends use them and whatever, but I don't actively sell them. Okay. So she messaged me and said, "Hey, I saw you watch my stories and I checked it out. Do you still sell Young Living?" And I said, "Yeah, I do." And she was like, "Can you send me your link? I'd rather buy from somebody that watches me." And I'm like, okay, I don't actively do that. It's just so I can get discounts. Do you know what I mean? And my girlfriends can get discounts. It has nothing to do with that. But that's the power of A, connecting, B, knowing who's watching your stories in particular, because those are the people that are really invested in you. You know, your views are important and the people liking your reels are really important, but the people watching your stories are invested in your story. They're invested in your daily habits and what you're doing. Go reach out to them because those are hot leads.
Yeah.
And what she did yesterday was a perfect example of that. Perfect.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing. It's not just your social media views. I had 2 videos go viral, and they went viral in countries that couldn't sign up for Legendary. I was fielding so many DMs. "It won't let me sign up, blah, 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 blah." I finally removed the videos because they were not my target market. And it was taking so much time to answer these DMs and stuff. Not that I don't want to help those people, but I literally couldn't help them. And I took them down. And the minute I did that, I only get my target market now.
Mm.
Okay, that's fine. You got to just constantly pivot, and you
Yeah.
got to really focus on who's liking your stuff, who's watching your stories, and focus on the people that are engaging with you, because you need to be engaging with them every step of the way. It's not just about putting up videos and hoping they sign up for an email.
And stop being in love with the numbers, right? It's like
Mhm.
this is not about who's got the biggest, the most, all that. It's about who's got the deepest and who's got the best relationship. Who's even if you have one person that's following, don't underestimate what you can deliver to that person and what that person can deliver to you in terms of being a great customer. If you value them, when you've only got 1 or 2 followers,
Mhm.
they will value you as well. But if we
Yes.
on our customers or our followers when we've only got a few, we make them feel unseen, unappreciated. We make
Mm.
them as if, oh well, it's kind of like having a party and, well, 200 people don't show up, 5 people show up, and you're like, oh, all depressed, all sad, nobody came, but they're like, we came,
Yeah.
we're here.
Start with 1, then go to 2, then go to 3. I mean, social media is so it's people want the viral reels and they want everything to go viral and they want all these followers. The followers are irrelevant. I would rather have 100 followers who are deeply invested in what I was doing than 50,000 followers who are never going to buy anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Lynn, this has been unbelievable this morning. I mean, I never know what to expect, and I'm always blown away. This morning in particular, this has been just unbelievably powerful, inspirational. Now, I mean, just so much experience you've brought from just doing this for a short period of time, but also from your previous experience in business. Come back and see me on the show if you'd be willing in the future.
Sure. Yeah,
But
absolutely. Yeah.
would love to
Made it
have you.
all the way through this hour without cussing. So that's like just
Hey,
batting 1,000.
whatever your goals are, we celebrate them. Tell Randy we said hello as well. Shout out to the one, the only. There are a lot of men in this world. There is only one Randy.
That is right. You can
Randy,
be thrilled to hear you say that.
Randy with the assist. Okay.
Mhm.
The assist. Never count out hubs or your wife or whoever, I mean, sometimes we're afraid of our spouses. We're afraid of our family members, but they might be secretly wanting to root us on. Give them that opportunity.
Mhm.
Share with them what your hopes, dreams, and desires are. Share with them what you wish you could be doing. Don't be afraid to open your heart. Being scared of the people that we love is no way to live life. And, as you shared with us, Randy came in with he's the MVP, one of the most valuable assists
Yes.
of
Yeah,
the
true.
year.
He is the MVP.
All right. We'll talk to you later, Lynn. Be legendary, my
Thank
friend.
you.
Have a great day. Okay. All right, my friends, you can find Lynn at Affiliate Lynn. That's spelled Lynne. You can follow her over at TikTok and Instagram at Affiliate Lynn. Okay. Again, Lynn is spelled Lynne. My Lord, my friend, we have a lot going on here. We got a lot going on in this community here right now. We've got, of course, Wake Up Legendary, and we are just crushing this right. No, you are crushing this right now. I mean, our guest lately, not that all guests ever on the show have not been fantastic, but I just think to myself sometimes these fantastic people have to run out at some time. I mean, they can't just keep getting more legendary, yet you do. And so, if you want to be on the show, I want you to be on the show, and sometime in the near future, I look forward to talking to you. Thank you all for the amazing support in the comments. Those always mean the world to me. I kind of have been going back and forth here on my phone as I'm doing this, kind of trying to read and catch up with some of them. Thank you so much for the just absolutely kind and loving comments. You saying that you love me. I love you too, man. Thank you for saying that. That is so sweet. And I'm taking all of that love in. Also, thank you for your support for our guest every day. This is can be a scary thing. In some cases, it's the first time that some of these people have ever gone live. So the more we can make them feel comfortable, the more that we can, make them feel confident and support them, the more that that they have a chance to be successful, and that we learn how to lift other people up, which is one of the number one characteristics of a great leader. And I hate to tell you, sales and marketing is as much about leadership as anything. And so we just appreciate that. You all are amazing. We'll see you back here tomorrow for another episode. As always, get out of here, my friends. Be legendary. We love you. Peace.